Hello and welcome to the show. Today we have another challenge for you. This is 50,000 credit racing cars. Now we will set the challenge to buy a car from the Forza garage and then upgrade it to A class for 50,000 credits. We're then going to take it online racing, into the lobby racing, and see how they fare. Now the challenge itself was actually supposed to be a track day, but to do a track day the only ones I could find were B class, and 50,000 credits in B class is a little bit too easy. So we're going to go for A class and just do online lobby racing. This is the car that I'm going to be using. It is a Celine Mustang. It's not a normal one though, it has the engine from a Celine Raptor, so it's putting out 650 horsepower, which is a lot. It also has racing brakes, racing suspension. Unfortunately it doesn't have racing tyres, which could become a little bit of a problem.
It could be problematic.
Because it is a lot of power. It weighs 2,800 pounds, so it's not too bad for a muscle car, but it's pretty mental.
Right, this is what I've bought. I've bought a Porsche 944 Turbo. There were two reasons I chose this. One, because my dad used to own one, and two, because I thought it would be better handling than what Alex had bought. So that's what I was going for. I was going for the handling side of it rather than just the sheer power. It's still not too bad though. It's got 331 brake horsepower, roughly the same torques, and it weighs about 200 pounds less. So it will be better on hand. It's also got race brakes, race tyres, race suspension. So it's got all of that race prep. So it is more for the handling side, which is what I prefer. So
yeah,
it's going
I've
to
kind
be
of gone for a brute power.
Yes, brute power
on this
is
one.
normal.
I will point out we didn't pick any Lotuses because that would make it a little bit boring.
Yes,
we probably could get them, but that would be
Look
far
at
too
my
straightforward.
start! And I just
So
got
on the
boxed in.
first race, and chaos ensued before we even got to a corner.
Hunted off and straight away.
Yeah, this is online Forza racing with random people. You know how it's like. So we both started fairly low down the grid. It's at Mugello, a track that neither of us really like.
No.
And so not particularly favourite track of ours. But yeah, as you can see, off the start line there was a 3-car sort of pile-up. My Celine is a monster in a straight line.
It's ridiculously quick on the straight.
Stupidly, I mean, again, as I say, this is a lobby racing. We're racing against all sorts of cars. You can see I'm currently battling in Siege. This Celine was so fast
It was
in a straight line. Couldn't go around any corners at all. It was atrocious when it got to a corner, as you can see. The Siege, sorry, has now got past me. But the straight line speed on this car is phenomenal. The race brakes don't really do much, to be honest. Slowing this thing down is really tricky.
Early, yeah,
you will see that I'm braking quite a lot earlier for these corners. Oh look, there's a Porsche behind me.
There is
That's
a
not good.
I was catching up to you because I didn't when I got punted off on the first 50 foot, I got a little bit annoyed and started. Well, I just got after you get into a rhythm, it's fine, but it's just that lap with battling. I got past you. I don't know how.
Yeah,
but,
you got. I think I fell off the road.
And
you
then the
got past me.
power
Now,
comes
watch
in.
the speed.
Yeah, this
watch
is
the speed
insane.
of the Celine. And here it goes. Here it goes.
It was bloody
Wait for
quick.
it. And past. The gear ratios were a little bit too long in this car. You could probably make this even faster because you're only just about sort of changing up to 5th as you come towards this last corner, or this first corner. Sorry, it was doing about 170 by the time we put on the brakes.
I was doing about 140. I wasn't doing very
which
much.
is so much faster than pretty much everything we're racing because they've all got sort of properly race-tuned cars, which is what we didn't have.
Yeah,
and
we didn't.
It was very tricky, as you can see.
I think
both of us were struggling.
I was sliding more than you for some reason in that corner. I've no idea why. I don't know why, but I never got the hang of the. I got passed by BM because I messed up.
This is a very impressive overtake by the BMW.
Yes,
you were very brave to go around there.
I give him credit for that. That was a superb overtake. But yeah, I just never got the hang of the back end sliding about with this car. I don't know why. But my Porsche, okay, it was more on the handling side. I got past you again, but it was just really slidey at the back end, and because of that problem, I slid out and Alex got past again. So I don't know why it was doing that because it wasn't properly tuned. I think.
I think we didn't actually spend any time doing the like changing the suspension about, changing the ride height, and that sort of thing. A bit of a bump over that curb.
Yeah,
there.
I don't like that.
Both of these cars are quite tricky to drive, both very tricky to drive because they're both very slidey. I mean, my car has 650 odd horsepower. You've got to be careful with that, especially when you haven't got racing tyres. Basically, whenever it came to somewhere where I had to accelerate, you have to be really tentative with the throttle to kind of stop it from going sideways. I think this is the final lap, and you can see the power of that Celine is phenomenal. In the end, we finished, I think it was
6th and 7th.
10th. Was it that high
Yeah,
up?
it was
I can't
6th and
remember
7th we
where
finished on. That was the first race. That was our most successful race.
Yeah, it was a fairly successful race on that one. And the second race, we went to the Alps circuit. Again, a circuit that we don't really race on very often.
It's not a track, is it? Let's be fair. It's not a proper racetrack.
It's more of a showcase for some fancy graphics.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much
if I'm honest. It's a funny track. I don't mind it particularly, but yeah, it's a little bit of a weird one. We can see there is already chaos going on. You got taken out by a BMW, who then came back on the track and annihilated me. So there was a big crash again, which we had absolutely nothing to do with. Crashes seem to find us in these races.
They do, yeah, especially with this lobby. For whatever reason, we were magnetised to every crash.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is to do with the fact that we were in fairly slow starting cars compared to a lot of the race cars, so we were often down towards the back. We also started fairly low down the grid most of the times. There's a BMW that decided to disconnect. The one who caused all the mayhem then quit out. Typical. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, the further down the grids you are, the more likely you are to kind of find a few slower drivers. This Golf then had a humongous crash. You don't want to crash through there.
You don't want to. That's not a good.
Not a nice place. No, it's great. And then both of us managed to make up a position despite being right at the back.
One position is successful. One position.
Yes, one single position. You were still having troubles with your Porsche and found a wall. That's not going to help matters.
I don't know. I think what happened was I was too early on the throttle, and I just started sliding as soon as it left the ground. So as soon as it left the ground, I thought, oh, okay. And then I met the wall, so I wasn't happy. And then the bloody hell, the Golf, Jesus!
Yeah, the Golf got a lot of air. You won't be happy for me showing this bit as well. And there's another wall.
Alps
for you to find. Yeah, you were having struggles with that Porsche.
I just didn't
around
like
this
it
track
for whatever reason. Don't know why.
I was going okay. I mean, we're still fairly low. I was chasing a 350Z. I thought it might be a 370Z. I too found the wall through there.
That's the same wall, so I'm not the only one. I can take solace in that.
It's a tricky corner, that one, because it's a flat-out corner. My car got quite a lot of airtime up there as well. It's a flat-out corner in a normal racing car. So if we were to take our normal cars and race them there, it would be flat out. In these, it's nearly flat out. It's not quite. If you go flat out, you hit the wall, which we both did.
You've got to be so much more precise.
Yeah, you've got to be a lot more careful with these cars because they haven't got the levels of downforce, and in my case, I haven't got the levels of grip that our normal racing cars have. So we have to be very careful. Now, our final race, well, this was going to be chaotic because it's on Top Gear. And someone didn't even start. That's one of the most annoying things when somebody just forgets to go, because that always causes mayhem. So yes, we are on the Top Gear full circuit. Now, this has crossover bits on it. It's basically a figure of 8 circuit, just a little bit skew width. The bigger problem we found is that people just cut the corners.
Yeah, it's really annoyed me.
No one seems to really care where the lines go. Everybody just sort of goes everywhere. As you would imagine, the second corner is absolutely mayhem. I was getting squashed between a BMW and something else I didn't even see. The cameraman is shaking all over the place. A little bit mental there.
Yeah,
as you can see, it is chaos here.
I may have hit Honda just a tad.
Yeah, there was a little bit of nudging involved, shall we say. Decent motor just flew off the track there. Yeah. What was going on? And there's an NSX has gone visiting the grass. There's a Sierra Cosworth all over the place as well. I am not got much further through the pack either. You can just about see me in the foreground. I overtook someone through the follow-through on the tyre.
Yeah, I did that. That was quite a scary moment.
Yeah, you know what? Everything went a little bit wrong here. I'm not sure what happened to me. I ended up on the grass at some point, and you overtook like 3 cars.
Yeah, I took a big lunge, and I thought, okay, this isn't going to work, because I thought I braked massively late. And it surprisingly worked, and I then looked behind me and saw there was about 5 cars. I thought, oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a very good overtake. We were, again, near the back, I think, for this battle. There was quite a big group of us, I have to say. Who were all battling over what was essentially, I think, about 12th place. I didn't spin the Exceed, it got spun on its own accord, I think. I then got nudged and found some grass, which is never particularly helpful.
No.
You are to have some more bad luck, as pretty much the entirety of your afternoon kind of went.
Yeah, and then a Saab decided to just implode everything. I think it was because I gave him a slight tap going into the hammer. No, the hammerhead the lap before. I just gave him a slight nudge and it just put him in place. But I didn't just torpedo him like he just did then. So, but that's online lobbies, I suppose.
Yeah, the online stuff is. Yeah, I had a very scary moment through there. You don't want to be doing that at like 120 miles an hour. That was very scary. Yeah, but online lobbies, it's always difficult racing in these. Forza is particularly bad for terrible drivers. I think a lot of the problem is to do with the length of the races. These were 3 or 4 lap races at the longest, which really doesn't give you a longer time. If you start at the back of the grid like we have traditionally, look at the speed of the Mustang. Jesus, things are so fast compared to everything else. If you start at the back of the grid, 3 laps is not enough time to make up to get anywhere near the front.
Oh, no.
Which means that people basically, when they see another car in front of it, if it is slower than them, they go past it. It doesn't matter, how they go past it. They'll push it out of the way, they'll spin it, whatever, because otherwise they just don't have the time to work through the grid. Or at least they don't have the time to work through the grid.
Unless you're a really good driver, you just don't have a chance.
Even then, though, you saw the BMW that was at Mugello, you got annihilated by Saab again. I think that actually this was the last lap, and you ended up kind of broken.
I was doing quite well. I was ahead of you, and then he just annihilated.
It all went a little. I don't know what happened there either.
I think I don't know. Something happened. I just think my Xbox controller just went no and just turned off.
That would explain it.
Yeah.
So, just to kind of prove that we aren't actually genuinely useless at racing, we got out our proper cars to see how we'd fare in these. So, it could have been just the fact that we were racing really good lobbies. I don't think any of the lobbies we got higher than 6th in, and that was the first one, I think.
And that's
when there was
me
a huge
in the lead. So I was leading by a good, this is, in the first 2 laps, I was leading by a good 100, 150 foot. And then I got closed up because I made a little mistake. But it just goes to show, I mean, Alex, you're only, 4th or 5th?
You'd started on the front row. I'd started a little bit further back, but as you can see, we're already working our way towards the front. Both of our cars are properly sort of tuned A-class cars. There was some chaos going on behind me. With a Stingray and a Pontiac Solstice. A little bit mental back there. Yeah, these cars, we started fairly well on the grid. I will say we had a little bit of advantage there. We weren't right at the back. There was also slightly fewer in this race. I think there was about 11 as opposed to the 14 or 15.
Still a decent grid, though.
But as you can see, we were near the front. You then made a big error.
Yeah, I just braked way too late, and that was that. I just think, and you got by as well. So I had to hunt you down. I just braked way too late. I sort of forgot how average the brakes were. They're good brakes, but I just forgot. So I had to start working my way back up the grid. But it does go to show. I mean, we're 2nd and 3rd now. It goes to show how much better we are with a properly tuned car. So we're not terrible at racing.
Got a little bit wide through there, but yeah, it kind of goes to show that the cars, you can get cars for 50,000 credits to go racing with. You can get A-class cars just about for 50,000 credits. You're about to get annihilated by a Stingray. Bye-bye.
So yeah, that idiot, quite frankly, knocked me off again. That's what I sort of mostly call people in online lobbies.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a lot of that, and it is a downside of racing on Forza. In the end, I didn't have enough time to catch up to first because it was literally only 3 laps. I did get the fastest lap of the race. I think it was about a second quicker than everybody else. This NSX is really pretty damn good. If you want to have a go with it, you can find it on my storefront somewhere, on the FailRace account storefront. But yeah, as I was saying, you can get an A-class car for 50,000 credits. You can just about build one. It's about the limit. You couldn't really get one for much less than that. Really,
you'd be struggling otherwise. Unless you're a god at tuning, you're going to struggle.
Yeah, I think I had about 900 credits left with that Celine. But in all honesty, it's not going to be
not very competitively good. Anyway. You can go racing for an A-class at 50k, but just not competitively, and that's just
and also the cars you're going to end up with, unless you go for you might just about get that Lotus that you're driving now.
You probably wouldn't get it past 570 PI because I tried it once and you don't get it past that, but it's still a really good handling car. So for a short track like Laguna, it's sorted.
Yeah, you could probably get a Lotus just about, but you probably wouldn't be able to max the PI out on it. But yeah, you're not going to have a competitive car for that sort of money, but it was still quite fun.
Yeah, it was actually.
It is a real test of patience.
Yeah,
on
test of patience and skill to work your way back up the grid and not get annihilated every race, which didn't happen for me. But,
yeah, we got very unlucky in some of them races, but it's just how online lobby racing goes. So there we go. That is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As ever, if you had challenges you would like to see us do, please leave them in the comment section. We will have a look through and we will pick our favourites. However, until next time, goodbye.